Oha konbanchi wa daidesu dayo. O genki? Hello, humans and animals alike. This is Dylus. How's everyone doing? Today, we are going to continue Pokémon Red and Green, I suppose. I mean, they're kind of the same game, just with different Pokémon. To incentivize people to meet other people who play a different version so you can complete your Pokédex. That was kind of the aim of the whole two versions thing, but anyway, yeah, we're going to be playing Pokémon Red today in Japanese. We're going to be learning Japanese through these games. Alright, so before we get started, there is something I wanted to show. Oh, first off, that official art that I had mentioned before about the Charmander sometimes being substitutes for lighters from heavy smokers. Here, let me pull up the picture. I forget the exact details for it, but it was like trading cards that were sent out to something, and they were published by Famitsu. Here it is. Yeah, this is the card right here. Pokémon would never do this sort of thing in the modern day. Because they have to think about the kids now. Granted, Pokémon was always, like, meant to be targeted towards kids, but, like, now they have to think internationally, you know? And America would hate to see this sort of thing. Anyway, I just wanted to show you that really quick. And furthermore, let's see if I can, bring this up. I wanted to take a look a little more at the Illustrated Book of Pocket Monsters, because there is a section here that is dedicated toward essentially the beginning of Pokémon. And this is pretty interesting because I don't think they really go over this sort of thing in any of the games until at least Gen 4. Which is when they really went hard on the whole mythos and legends of Pokémon, like how the universe was created and stuff like that. I always thought of Gen 4 to be the magnum opus of Pokémon, to be honest. Like, it was going to be the swan song before Gen 5 was going to essentially reboot the series. After all, they had run out of regions in Japan, and I will talk about that in a little bit. But for now, I just want to read this part here. There are a lot of sentences to look at here. It's definitely more reading than what you would normally get from your standard Pokémon game. I mean, when you take a look at one piece of dialogue. So anyway, let's begin our daunting task here of reading and translating this part of the I guess we could call it a guide. So, let's see. To start off, hajime ni. In the beginning. Pocket Monster 通称 Pokémon の発生は約 200万年前と言われています. So, pocket monsters, shortened form Pokemon, were said to have, like, been, what would you call that? Hase. It's like development and life. I guess just like the birth of Pokemon as we know it was said to have originated from approximately 2 million years ago. So, yeah. Quite a long time, considering we had, like, dinosaur Pokemon. This alternate universe essentially had, yeah, basically they had these dinosaur creatures who are different from your typical dinosaurs. Although, 2 million years, that's beyond the age of the dinosaurs, isn't it? I guess that's something worth thinking about. Anyway. 初めて系統だっててポケモンの研究を行ったのは、18世紀後半のフランスの作家、タジリン伯爵です。So, let's see. First, let's see. Keido tatete Pokemon. Is that like discovered or something? Let's take a look here. Do I have the Jisho? Ah, yes, here it is. Let's look that word up. Keito date. To systematize, to organize. Oh, so I guess, let's see. First, organized Pokemon research. As for when that happened, let's see. Saka, that's like let's see, make and house. So, was it like in a humble abode of some kind? Oh, Saka is author. I should have known that one, dang. I'll tell you the truth, I have not been keeping up with my Anki deck at all. I haven't touched Anki in almost, like, in a few weeks, honestly. Flashcards are so dang boring. I'm sorry, I don't think I can do that. Anyhow. So, 18世紀後半のフランスの作家、タジリン伯爵です。So it's like a professor of sorts, Tajirin, an author from the latter half of the 18th century, and he's from France. So this is a relic of the past here, the Pokemon past. Originally, Pokemon took place in what is essentially the real world, just with Pokemon added in. They made references to real-life locations, and we see France here. And later on we'll briefly mention Igirisu, which is England, Deutsche, Germany, Spain, and Italia, which is Italy. And then they mention Wagakuni, which implies Japan. So, yeah, and as a matter of fact, Kanto is a real, like, region in Japan. That was not really made up, not like the other ones that we see later in the series. Like, this is essentially a parallel real world that is closer to the real world than any other Pokemon game to date. So, yeah. There's also going to be a character who is essentially a war veteran from America, so be on the lookout for that as well. But anyway, that's just something you'll have to expect with the Gen 1 games. And they retain this in Fire Red and Leaf Green as well. Anyway. 当時ポケモンは30種類しか見つかっていませんでしたが、タジリン伯爵が記述した詳細なデータとスケッチは後の研究の基礎となるものでした。Oh. Hello, Max and Juarevo. If you're reading this, I probably not have internet, so it will probably be like 8 p.m., I'm guessing, so I will not be in stream for a little, just a heads up, so have a great stream. Okay. And Juarevo, Kanto will always be your favorite region? I see. My favorite region is Hoenn. I just love the real diversity of life that's in that region. None of it really seems that forced either. Not like in, say, X and Y where they just put in a... It seems like they put in a desert haphazardly, but I don't know. I guess I'll have to think about that sort of thing. Or maybe not, because I'm not as invested in, like, the whole series as much as I'm used to. As much as I used to. Anyway, so Toji, at that time, so apparently at that time only 30 different kinds of Pokemon were discovered, but, let's see, Professor Tajirin, Kijutsu shita. Alright, let's see here, let's look this up. Wait. Yeah. Kijutsu. Shita. Shosai. So, Kishutsu is description, and Shosai is details. Alright, so... Kishutsu shita shōsai na data to sketchi wa nochi no kenkyū no to naru shita. Let's see. Kisoto. Kisoto naru. Foundation. Okay, so it's like the fine details in his data and sketches laid the foundation for Pokemon research after that point. So that's what it's saying. So yeah, obviously Tajirin is basically a spoof of Tajiri, Satoshi Tajiri, essentially the father of the Pokemon franchise. So let's see what's next. その後、ポケモンの研究はフランスの拠点としてイギリス、ドイツ、スペイン、イタリアなど など、西ヨーロッパ全土の広がり、交通手段の飛躍的な進歩に伴って、19世紀末には我が国でも行われるようになりました。So that was one gigantic sentence. So let's break that down. So その後, after that, Pokémon no Kenkyū wa, as for Pokemon research, フランスの拠点として、拠点. Let's look that up. Kilten. Some sort of point. Base of operations, or like the center of something. So, France was the center of Pokemon research for a while, I guess, and then it expanded into all of Europe, spilling over into countries such as England, Germany, Spain, and Italy. Yeah, they mentioned Europa there. So, yeah, all of Western Europe, actually. So, Kotsu Shudan. So, Shudan is means. Kotsu is like traffic or transport. Hiyaku teki. What, are they like sending letters via like carrier pigeon or something? I don't know. Let me look that up. Hiyaku teki. Tremendous rapid. Okay, so yeah, it's like at a tremendous. And Shinbo ni Tomonate. Alright. Shinbo. Wait, hang on. Oh, Shinpo. My bad. Shinpo is progress, development, and Tomonau is to accompany, to go hand in hand with. So I guess the research sort of spread at such a rapid rate, and then by the end of the 19th century, it began happening in Japan, which is where Red and Green take place. Okay, next sentence. Waga kuni no Pokémon gaku no soto iwareru no ga Nishi no mori kyuju desu. So, let's see. Kyuju, I think that's like a class of some kind. So, let's see. Soto. Okay. Let me look that word. Soto iwareru. Oh. Okay, so this is a single word. It's ancestor, forefather. So the forefather of Pokemon research in Japan was said to be essentially Professor Nishinomori. So, an interesting thing about Nishinomori, other than it being somewhat derivative of Sugimori, Ken Sugimori, is that Nishinomori actually appears in the Pokémon anime, and I believe he was localized as Westwood the Fifth. I'm not sure if he's called, like, Nishinomori the Fifth in Japan. I don't really know that much right now. I could look it up, but I'm not going to right now. But I think it's pretty interesting that they decided to, I guess, take inspiration from this book. And, yeah, essentially for a time, all this stuff was basically considered canon, but honestly now I don't know anymore. Pokemon lore is a mess. Alright, so... 1899年1899年、西野森教授が発表した論文、ピカチュウの進化に関する一考察は、今まで別のものと思われていた2種類のポケモンが実は同じ仲間であり、進化系であったことを明らかにするものでした。So, I'm guessing this is something about him discovering evolution with Pokemon, but let's try to pick this apart bit by bit. So, the year is 1899. Nishinomori announced Ronpun. Is that like a... That's not like a philosophy. It's probably some sort of literary work. Yeah, a thesis, an essay. So, and the title of it is Pikachu no Shinka ni Kansuru Ichikosatsu. So, Pikachu, it's Pikachu. Everybody knows who that is. No Shinka evolution ni Kansuru. I feel like I've looked up this one before. Kansuru. To concern, to be related. And let's see. Ichiko Satsu. Okay, consideration, inquiry, investigation, study. So, an investigation in relation to the evolution of Pikachu. Alright, so that's what the topic is, marked by the particle wa. Imamade, up to now, betsu no mono to warete ita 2種類のポケモンが実は同じなのであり。Let's see. 別のもの... What, nothing quite like it? Let's see. 今まで別... Betsu is like distinct. Oh man, I'm really trying to think here. I could just resort to, you know, Depot. Imamade to... So, something about particular things up till now. I guess this is like something that's different and blew other people away. Something about 2 kinds of Pokémon. Jitsu wa onaji nakama de shinkake de atta. Oh, this is a lot of work. But I think you kind of get the idea. Saying something about onaji nakama. Is that like a special term or what? Onaji nakama. Same group. Okay, so yeah, it's nakama can be kind of a tricky word in my opinion, at least when you're first starting out. Alright, it's been a while. I think I'm going to pause that right here and then I'm just gonna get into the game. I think that's fair enough. We'll hear more about the beginning of stuff at a later point. Alright, let me get the game set up now. There we go. Alright. Let's continue Pocket Monsters Red version. And it seems like the volume just went back to normal, so you know what? I'm just going to reduce the volume on my audio mixer instead, so I don't have to constantly do that over and over again. Alright, after we had saved our game, we have a new option now, Tsuzuki kara hajimeru, to begin from continuation, I guess. Well, we know what that means. Let's continue our journey. Although, before I go, let me see. I'm gonna quickly save state here. I wanted to see what, Daisy here says. Okay, you know what? It's really bothering me, if Daisy was, like, something that was added into Fire Red and Leaf Green, or if that was her name the entire time. Anyway, when we talked to her, Okido no Oji-chan oshikoto tanondandatte. So, you say our grandpa Okido gave you some work to do? Taihen ne. That sounds tough. Kore ageru kara tsukatte? So, give you this for you to use. We get the town map from One-san, the big sister. Alright, if we talk to her again. Jibun no iru basho ya machi no namae ga shiritai toki. So, if we want to know the name of the place or town where we are, town map scout to iwayo. You should use the town map. So, I've been looking at the script for the game. ahead of time. And Toii is a pretty common reoccurrence in the text here. So it's worth noting that whenever you say Toii, whenever you see Toii, it basically shows you that it is a suggestion or a hope, something like that. So she's suggesting to us, if we want to know the name of the place we're at, check the town map. Alright, with that, I am going to load state because I said in the previous stream I did not want the town map because I need my precious, precious inventory space. Alright. So, our first goal is to go north past Tokiwa City, otherwise known as Viridian City. However, there is something else that we can do. A couple things, actually. Alright, I will say for a little while, I am going to be battling a bunch in the beginning, just battling a bunch of wild Pokémon. Because there's actually going to be... I'm going to be battling my rival without, catching any new Pokémon. Because if we're able to do that, and then go back to Professor Oak, or Okido, in his lab, then he'll give us 5 Pokeballs for free. This is probably something that a lot of people don't know about because it's so obtuse, and it's really hard and a pain to just, like, do that fight without at least having one other partner. And you will see why. Level 8に上がった。あー！ Alright. Unfortunately, the battles here aren't going to be very interesting. I'm just going to have Hitokage scratch a bunch of enemies over and over again. Okay. After we've delivered Oak's package and received the Pokédex, some things are now open to us in Tokiwa City. Oh, by the way, I don't think I've talked to you yet. I'm probably not going to be using you, but, let's see. Tsushin Cable... Sorry. Something about a cable club. Communication cable club. Let's see. こちらは友達と通信ケーブルをつないだ。方々を特別にご案内いたしております。Wait, so, what are you saying? So, this here is... Tsunaida. Sorry, let me look this one up. Tsunaida. Alright, so Tsunaida is the past tense of tsunagu, which means to connect. So this here is, yeah. Basically, it's a place where you can communicate with friends via link cable. Unfortunately, I can't really do that, because I have no friends. Alright. We've already read this sign before. Alright, so if you remember over here, this was where the old man was lying drunk on the floor. Let's see what you have to say now. Tokidoki Nibi shiti made okaimono ni ikimasu kedo. So, Tokidoki means sometimes, so from time to time. You go to Nibi City for shopping. Oh, right, Ete Monkey. Who needs friends when we have ROM hacks that allow trade evos by level? Yeah. I'm not sure, like, if there are any Japanese, ROM hacks of various Pokemon games. Not sure about that. Maybe I'll have to, like, really try to search for those one day. Anyway, hello, Ete Monkey. Konbanchiwa. Alright, so yeah, you go to Nibi City to go shopping from time to time, but Tokiwa no mori te michi ga magari kunetteru no. Wait, kunetteru. Kuneru, to bend loosely back and forth, to be crooked. Okay, so you have to essentially take the winding road that is Tokiwa no Mori, which is Tokiwa Forest, also known as Viridian Forest. So, something to look out for. Alright, let's talk to, this old man here. Yopparateta mitai ja. It seemed like I was drunk. Atama ga itai. My head hurts. Toki ni oisogi kana? So he's asking if we're in a hurry right now. If we say yes, time is money. Toki wa kane narika. So those are two ways of saying time is money. Yeah, he says it in English and then he says it in Spanish. Not Spanish, Japanese. So, pretty interesting there. Anyway, if we say no, we're not in a hurry. Ho-ho! Pokémon Zukan tsukutoru ka. So, you're making a Pokemon encyclopedia, or Pokédex. Nara washi kara advice ja. Pokemon o tsukamaete shirabe wa jidoteki ni peiji ga fuete ikunjayo. So he's saying when we catch Pokemon, pages are automatically filled in the Pokédex. We have just heard that from Professor Okido, so I guess if you need a refresher, he's there to help you. Nanja, tsukamaekata o shiran no ka? So he's saying, what? Don't you know how to catch how to catch Pokemon? Dewa, Washi ga oteho no misete yaru kana. So then, allow me to provide you an example. So this is your catching tutorial. Unlike pretty much every Pokemon game since Gen 3, this is entirely optional. The game, like, trusts you to, like, you know, figure this out. And frankly, what I really like about Pokemon Gen 1 and Gen 2, yeah, they are extremely light in tutorials. Like, if you want to know how to play the game, you gotta do what you normally do in an RPG. Talk to people. And I wish the Pokemon Company can just, like, let us do that and we don't have to mash the A button like a rapid machine gun. It's so tiring. Anyway, rant over. Hajime no uchi wa Pokémon o yowarasete kara toru no ga gotsu ja. So, the main point here is to weaken the Pokemon before capturing it. Except you just threw the ball and got a lucky catch. That would never work out with you, the player, unless it's one of those extremely common Pokemon like Korata and Poppo. Now, let's see here. We see there's another building over there. This is the house where we see the, yeah, the Spearow, or the Onisuzume. Chun! Tokiwa Pokemon Gym. So, this is a Pokemon gym. Itsu kite mo kono Pokemon Gym wa shimattoru. Let's see. Itsu kite mo. So, I guess it's like whenever you come here, this Pokemon gym is closed. Itai donna yatsu ga leader o shitoru n jaro ka? So who the heck is the leader here? So yeah, apparently this gym is always closed, and I guess nobody really knows who the heck the leader is. Let's see. Tokiwa Jimu no doa ni wa kagi ga kakate ita. So yeah, the gym is locked. Well, that's too bad. Okay, so... Alright, unfortunately, now I'm gonna have to do some grinding, just to show that little piece of text, and get 5 free Pokeballs. So, yeah, enjoy everyone. I was debating whether or not I should have done this ahead of time, but I guess I at least wanted to show what it was like to, learn a new move, because your starter Pokemon learns a new move at level 9, I believe. So this grinding session's probably going to take like 10 minutes. Not to get to level 9, but to get to a comfortable level, because, well, you'll see when we have to fight our rival, west of Tokiwa City. Seems like we can fight level 5 enemies here, so that's nice. That'll mean more experience for us. Oh, and here's a new Pokémon, Weedle. So it's Bidooru. It's localized as Weedle, but now I wonder if it's actually pronounced like Weedle, as in like, you know, the W used for, I think, German names? Wilhelm Wundt? Something like that. Alright, so we do have to be careful of Weedle here, because, as you might recall from that, bug catcher guy, these guys could poison. Ito Haku, that is, like, spew thread, and that reduces our speed. Tokage no Tsubaya Sagata. Yosh! Kyusho ni atatta! Level 9 ni agatta! Atarashiku Hinoko o oboeta. So, Hitokage learned a new move, Hinoko, which is Sparks, otherwise known as Ember. If I didn't know any better, I probably would have translated it as, like, Little Fire or Baby Flame. Baby Flame! Oh wait, wrong franchise. Alright, I'll be frequenting the Pokémon Center here. Oh yeah! We can buy items from the friendly shop now. In Japan, this is called the friendly shop instead of the Pokémart. They probably called it the Pokémart, later on, but I don't know. Alright, we can buy some Monster Balls. Okay, before I do anything, I want to look this up really quick. Okay, let's see. What if I go to Professor Oak's laboratory on Bulbapedia? Let's see, in all Western Generation 1 games, when Professor gives the player 5 Pokeballs, his dialogue contains some errors that do not exist in the original. Yeah, I'll get to that. Okay, so, according to Bulbapedia, the 5 Pokeballs are obtained from Professor Oak after defeating Blue, or Green, in the optional battle on Route 22 if the player has no regular Pokeballs in their bag and has not added any caught data to the Pokédex. Permanently missed if the player skips this battle by earning the Boulder Badge first or attempts to receive them with a full bag. Which I don't really see happening, I'll be honest. How do you get a full bag before the first gym? I gotta wonder that. But anyway, I just can't purchase any Pokeballs, or Monster Balls as they're called right here. I just wanted to get some Dokukeshi, which are antidotes. Alright. Other than that, we have Mahinaoshi, which is a Paralyze Heal, and Yakedo Naoshi, which is a Burn Heal. We won't be encountering Burn for quite a while, so... Also, it would depend on which starter you chose. But even then, that's like that's pretty unlikely. Alright. Betsu desu. Arigatou gozaimasu. Oh, that's right. I gotta pay attention to what the shopkeeper says. Yokoso osagashimono desu ka? So, yeah, he's saying, welcome, what are you looking for? So we could say, kai ni kita, I came to buy, uri ni kita, I came to sell, and betsu ni desu, nothing in particular. So when we say, kai ni kita, yukkuri goran ni natte kudasai. Please take a good look. Alright, so I'm not gonna buy another Dokukeshi, but just to show the text here. Dokukeshi desu ne. 100 yen ni narimasu ka? Oh, narimasu ga? So, he's saying, antidote, right? Is 100 yen okay? It comes down to 100 yen, is that okay? Alright. その他に私どもでお力になれることは So, その他に私どもでお力になれることは So, can I help you with anything else? Watakushi is basically a more formal first-person pronoun than the already neutral and polite watashi. Actually, I'm not sure if there is a politeness, like, included with watashi, but, yeah. Let's see. If we choose sell, どれを売っていただけますか? So, what are you looking to sell? I'm not actually going to sell. As is typical RPG rules, whenever you sell something, they sell for half their initial value. それでしたら、50円でお引き取りいたしましょう. So, in that case, I will... Essentially, I will pay 50 yen for that. Alright, yameru. Arigatou gozaimashita. So, as stated by this guy before, Kizukusuri koko de wa urikireteru mitai. Yeah, potions appear to be sold out. This shop does not sell potions, and that could be kind of a problem. So, up to this point, we have 3 possible potions we can get. There's the one from the PC that we could have accessed in the beginning of the game. There is a potion that was given to us by a employee out in Route 1. And then the third and final potion up to this point is found by checking this tree. Alright. I'm actually gonna go ahead this way right now. We'll actually find some different Pokémon here, but I think they're not going to be quite as strong as the ones in Route 2. This is Route 22, by the way. Alright, Hinoko. As you can see from here, Wasa Taipu has changed. Hikaku and Nakigoe are considered no Maru type, and Hinoko is considered Hono type. Hono is flame, or fire. Oh, lucky! Teki no korata wa yakedo ta. So, yeah. So, enemy Korata got a burn. When we use Ember, I think it's a 10% chance to inflict burn? Yeah, let me see the guide I have. I'm not sure if it'll tell us exactly what the, skill does. Like, I'm not sure how exact it is. Let's see, Wasa no Kekkachi. Okay. Ta... Ha... Hi... U... He... Ho... Oh, Hi. Hi... Tsu... Hinoko. Okay, I might as well, Oh yeah, I have this here. So it says here... Okay, so this is like the additional effect here. And I'm guessing this is like considered 10% here. This is like accuracy, hit rate, something like that. So, yeah. Added effect of burn is given to the enemy 10% of the time. So yeah, it is 10%. By the way, I didn't quite read out the text when it suffered burn damage. Teki no korata wa yakedo no damage o uketeiru. So, suffer damage from the burn. Okay, let's keep going. Alright, if we want to check how much experience we need left, we check our status here, press A. Alright, ideally, I would like my Pokémon to be level 11. Ah, here's a new Pokémon. Nidoran... okay, I don't know how I would say this in Japanese. Otoko? Basically, this is the symbol for male. There is a Nidoran male and a Nidoran female. This game came out before gender was a staple mechanic in the Pokémon games, so Nidoran is essentially the predecessor for that. By the way, it's worth noting, if you're playing Pokemon Yellow version, I think you can encounter Mankey here? Is it, Yellow version, or is it actually, like, Fire Red and Leaf Green? I just know in one of the games you can, like, find a Mankey here, but that's not the case here. I do know that in Yellow, they gave the Nidorans the ability to learn Double Kick. That way you have a much easier time against the first gym leader, where your starter Pikachu does diddly squat against the first gym leader's Pokémon. Good old times when a muscular fighter gender couldn't be female. Yeah, I know, it's so weird. It seems very obvious by appearances that some Pokémon should be male, some should be female, but, yeah. I think Pokémon like, Machoke and Machamp are kind of the biggest offenders there. Or I don't know, maybe transgender is a thing, but, no, that still doesn't make sense because of the whole, breeding thing. Moving on from that... Hitokage wa level 10 に上がった。Alright, how much more experience? Tsuyosaを見る. Okay, this is gonna be like 10 more battles. Oh! Onisuzume. Now, is the Oni part, like, for ogre demon, or is it like sister? I don't know. I'll have to, I guess, look that up on Bulbapedia if I'm that curious. We can learn together. Oh yeah, female Wobbuffet just has lipstick. Yeah, that is kind of funny. Man, you're so strong. Oh! Nidoran female. These are rarer in Pokemon Red. And the opposite is true in Green. In Green, Nidoran female is more common, and Nidoran male is the rarer one. There we go. I think that's a comfortable level for the rival fight now. Alright, let's go on back to the Pokémon Center and get our Hitokage healed. Okay, let's do a save. I always feel like there should be something up here. But, I don't think there actually is. Hello, Greed. Ah, the Dionis! Pokemon League ni iku no ka? Yametoke. So, you're heading to the... You're going to the Pokemon League? Give it up, essentially, is what he's saying. Omae dose baji motte ne daro? Dose. He's... Something about, us having badges. Okay, there we go. Dose, in any case, regardless. So, yeah, he's saying... I'm sure you don't have any badges anyway, is what he's saying. Ihari no osan ga toshite kureneyo. So, there's like an old lookout guy who won't let you pass. So, I think Osan is... Yeah, it's kind of derogatory. It's considered familiar language, but you wouldn't really use it, like, when you're right near the guy. Which, thankfully, he's talking to us, childhood friend, so... It's okay. Just so long as he doesn't hear. Soreyori-sa! So, more importantly than that... Omae no Pokémon skoshi wa tsuyoku natta yo? So, have your Pokémon gotten a little stronger? And then the battle begins. Green ga shobu o shikakete kita. Green wa Poppo o kuridashita. Ke! Hitokage! Okay, so our first opponent is Poppo, and at level 9 is able to learn Sunakake, which is Sand Attack. That is, like, one of the most annoying moves. And the reason for that is... Hitokage no Meichuritsu Sagata. Meichuritsu is accuracy rate. So, if you're unlucky, Green's Pidgey will just spam that, and then you just won't be able to hit anything for beans. It sucks. However, if you have another Pokémon with you, you can switch them out and the accuracy modifier will reset for the affected Pokémon. But if I want to get those 5 free Pokéballs from Professor Oak and get that little hidden dialogue scene, I can't catch another Pokémon! So now you see why this is difficult? So, yeah, when we miss, it says, Shikashi hitokage no kougeki wa hazureta. But Charmander's attack missed. Okay, tried to do a second one, but luckily it failed. Shikashi umaku kimara nakata. So that's kind of like it didn't work out well. Alright, keep using Kaze Okoshi. Now, let me look at something else really quick. Kaze Okoshi, because there is something else that I want to talk about with Generation 1. Okay. Yeah, Meichuritsu is up here. So, Kaze Okoshi. H is for Hiko. Wait. Hang on, Hiko? Wait, hang on. O is normal. Yeah, O is normal, H is Hiko. Okay, so this is weird. Kaze Okoshi, it is listed as Hiko, which is flying type, but then it says in the description, Normal Kougeki. So is it flying or is it normal? Well, in Generation 1, Kaze Okoshi, Gust, is actually a normal type move. So, yeah, this is, like, wrong at a glance. It's kind of weird how it, like, shows that. But furthermore, what I really wanted to point out is the 100 here. So, normally, without any accuracy modifiers, 100% accurate moves won't miss. Problem is, there is a bug in this game that makes it so even with moves that are supposed to have 100% accuracy, they will still miss 1/256th of the time, because somebody didn't realize that 0 was an option, I guess. That's a fairly common programming mistake from what I'm gathering. But anyway, don't worry though, there are some attacks that bypass, like, accuracy period, and they are not affected from that bug. I wonder how many bugs I'm going to be talking about, because, well, let's just say the original Pokémon games were put together with duct tape and hopes and prayers. Alright, next we have Zenigame. We'll want to rely on Scratch for this one, because Ember won't be very effective. Wait! You know Awa? Oh no, I didn't know you actually learned that already. Okay, that decreases defense, but since Awa, Bubbles, is a special attack, it's not affected by regular defense, rather it takes into account special. That said, it could very well tackle me, and Okay, this is where I'm gonna have to use Kizuku City. I have to use a potion. Okay, that seemed to hurt just as much as a bubble. Oh great, and speed went down. There's a 10% chance that bubble does that. And it looks like we're speed tied now. One more hit. That was a crit? Okay, yeah, there's another really strange quirk. Critical hits kind of bypass stat modifiers, so even when you reduce the Pokemon's defense, landing a critical hit could actually deal less damage than normal. So that's really weird. Oh, why did I use that? Well, it missed anyway, so... Phew! Tabanakata! We won. Ah! Koitsu nameta mane yo! Alright, let's see that. Nameta. Nameru, to lick, to taste, to experience especially a hardship, to underestimate, to make light of, and mane. Imitating behavior. So I guess he's saying, he's underestimated me? Alright, and we get 280 yen as prize money. Doyara Pokémon League ni wa tsuyokute sugoi trainer ga uja iru rashize. So... he'll have to, get past the really strong trainers, I guess, from the Pokemon League. So, Uja. In swarms and clusters. Alright, so, yeah, basically the Pokemon League is a cluster of really strong trainers. Donika soko torinukeru. Hoho kangae nakia. So torinukeru, I guess, is like to get past. So find a way to get past them. Omae mo itsu made mo kokoro ni naide. Totto saki ni susume yo. Okay, darn, there's no real safe way back. I think I'm just going to have to use a, my last potion just in case. I'll do it if I get into a battle. Which I am. Darn. Here you go. It's my last one. I probably would have been fine without using it, but I could have some really terrible luck. I just mentioned the 1 in 256 hit rate bug. Koko wa Pokémon League Shomen Geto. So this is the front gate to the Pokemon. Let's take a look. Koko kara saki wa hontou ni tsuyoi Pokemon trainer dake toremasu. So beyond here just really strong trainers. I guess only that. Anata wa mada grey badge o mottemasen ne. So you don't have the gray badge yet. Kimari desu kara tori wake ni wa ikimasen. So basically it's the rules. I can't let you pass. Alright. Now that we've done that battle, I'm gonna go to the... guess I can go to, Masara town. Remember, we can jump off these ledges to avoid the tall grass here. Until we get to this point, at least. Crap. There we go. Okay, so this part will happen only if we don't have any Pokeballs, we don't have any other Pokemon in our party, and we finish the fight against our rival in Route 22. And that's only possible before you get the gray badge. Alright, so... Pokemon o tada mitsuketa dake de wa... Okay, mitsuketa dake. Alright, I need to know about this dake. So... yeah, I keep thinking it's just, like, only, just merely, but it has another, meaning. As much as... is there, like, a dake de wa? There's a dake de naku, not only, but also. Dake ni, dake domo, dake shita, dake de I. Alright, let's see. Pokemon o tada mitsuketa dake de wa. So, I guess that actually means the Pokemon that have yet to be found. Kuwashi data o te ni ireru koto wa dekin. Oh, okay, he's saying that, Pokemon, detailed data about Pokemon can't simply be gotten by just seeing them. Kanarazu tsukamae nakereba naran no da. So, you have to make sure to catch them. I feel like Professor Oak is talking us down. Hore, sono tame ni hitsuyou na dogu o wataso. So he's saying, here, for that purpose, you'll need these tools, items. Daidasu wa gokko monster boru o moratta. So we received 5 Pokeballs. You know, I'm actually okay for ones that, like, a high figure is actually kind of disappointed in me. It's a kind of a change of pace of always being praised for, hey, you know that water puts out fires! You sure know your type advantages. Stuff like that plagues the modern games. Not sure if they really meant it, but my interpretation, I just find it funny. Yase no Pokémon ga tobidashite kitara chance! So when a wild Pokémon leaps out at you, that's your chance. So interestingly, this part of the text is kind of glitched in the English version, because, like, part of the text, okay, how do I explain this? So, while the text is going on, it's supposed to, like, stop at the second line and give you this arrow right here at the bottom right corner, but it accidentally leaves that part of the code out and then skips right to the next line, and then it essentially overlaps part of the message. The next line overlaps part of the previous message. I guess they didn't catch that because this was such an obtuse way of getting this text to show up, so I guess they never really had a chance to test that out. Or it could just be an honest mistake. Monster boru o poit to nakereba Pokémon o tsukamaerareru. So you could catch the Pokémon by throwing the monster ball at it, like boink. So I guess that's just like the sound it makes when you throw it, or I guess it opens. Tadashi, umaku toreru ka douka wa wakaranzo. So, still, something about, whether you catch it well, understand this. Genki na Pokémon wa nigeyasui shi un mo aru kara na. So, yeah, you'll have a hard time. Basically, you'll have a hard time trying to catch a healthy Pokémon. Nigeyasui shi. That's not, like, easy to run or something, right? It's not giving me any results here. You can capture a Ghastly by throwing a brick at any kind of Pokémon. What? Oh! Wow, that's grim, Etamonkey. Damn it! That took me quite a while to get that. Alright, let's take a rest at our mother's house. Well, my house, but I'm going off on an adventure, so it's gonna be my mom's house for who knows how long. Okay, now that we have our 5 Pokeballs, we can start catching some Pokemon. However, my Charmander is way too strong, so I think we're just gonna have to go solo for a little while. Doesn't help if you get critical hits. Alright, I've already read this sign. I don't know why I'm doing that again. Sometimes I wish I could buy a Game Boy. Well, I have a Game Boy Color. And a copy of Pokémon Red and Yellow before they got hella expensive. Yeah, something hits different when you play on original hardware. Let's see. Otoku na keijiban. Tonikaku Pokémon o tsukamaete dondon fuyasou. So, I guess, like, add to your add the amount of Pokemon to team. Torena to no shobu mo takusan moteru to yuri. Alright, so yuri means advantage. So, yeah, basically trainers who have a lot of Pokemon, they'll have an advantage in battle. So you had only 2 games, one called Dexterity, other called Cosmo Tank. Let's see. Koko wa Niban doro, Poki wa shiti, Nibi shiti. Alright, let's see. Still have to finish Cosmo Tank one of these days. Ah, okay. And you survived that. I am proud of you. Here. Yatta! Weedle tsukamaeta zo! Dexterity is cool as heck. I've played a lot and finished it a couple times. Weedle no data ga tarashiku Pokémon Zukan no seibu saremasu. So, the data on Weedle is newly recorded in the Pokémon Encyclopedia, the Pokédex. Alright. Weedle. Kemushi. Let's see, Kemushi. Yeah, I think we've actually encountered that word before. It's or maybe not. It's specifically a hairy caterpillar. Let's see. Oreya kusachi ni oku seizoku. So, a lot of them are in forests and grassy areas. Atama no saki ni 5 centi ぐらいのsenchi, as in centimeters. So, 5センチくらいの小さく鋭い毒針を持つ。So, on its essentially forehead, on its head, about 5 centimeters is a small and sharp poison stinger. Okay, well, I guess with that, I'm gonna have you healed up. Unfortunately, whenever you catch a Pokémon, its HP is going to be the same as when you, like, had caught it before. And we unfortunately do not have heal balls in this game, so... whenever you catch a Pokémon, more than likely you're not going to be using it right away. Okay, so now pro tip, I'm going to put the newly caught Weedle in the front of my team, indicated by being in the top position. That'll make it so it's the first to come out in a battle. And even if it's just, like, in a battle for even a second, it can still gain experience. One of the, tip signs is going to tell us that. Alright. Korata wa chichai kedo, maeba no ichigeki wa anadorenai. So, I'm guessing chichai is, like, cutesy language of chisai. So, Korata may be small, but, its front teeth, let me see, anadorenai. Okay, so, don't mess around with its, sharp teeth, I guess. Basically, beware of its, like, sharp front teeth. Mo tsukamaeta kashira? So she's wondering if we caught one already. It was not the lucky It was not the lucky one to be caught by me at this point, so... no, not yet. Alright. Tokiwa no mori e iku no? Mori wa tennen no meiro yo. Mayo wa nai yo ki o tsukete. So, be careful not to get lost. Tennen no meiro. So, tennen is, nature, spontaneity, and meiro is a maze or labyrinth. So, it's a natural maze. Be careful not to get lost. Okay. Otoku na keijiban. Pokémon o tsukamaeru toki wa narubeku yowarasete kara. Pokémon ga genki dato nigeru kamo shirenai. Okay, so, when I'm thinking nigeru, I keep thinking it's run away, but it's really talking about escaping from the Pokéball. Pokémon don't typically run away in a battle. Although that was a thing that happens in Gen 2. And they never brought that back again, for some reason. I guess to make it easy for anybody to get the Pokémon that they want. Because availability is of high priority, I guess. Tomodachi to mushi Pokemon tori ni kiteru nda. So you came with your friends to catch some bug Pokemon? Pokemon shobu shitakute minna usu usu shiteru yo. Usu usu, is that like itching or something? Everybody's itching for a match? Anyway, if we check over here... Doku keshi o mitsuketa. Yeah, there's a hidden antidote over here. There are actually a couple, quite a few hidden items here, and I think I'm going to need a guide for this one. Of course, I could always press A everywhere or wait until I get the item finder, but I'm not doing that. Let's see here. Oh. Okay, looks like this guide does not actually have the, hidden items. It just shows you where there's Pokémon. And I guess there's a little description for each area as well. I'll have to consider that. Now, I did find another Japanese guide. I'll see if it's there. Let's see, I got it. Where did I put this? I think it's in my games folder. Sent. Well, first off, where the heck did I save this? Oh, over here. Oh, this one doesn't show the hidden items either. It just shows the items that are visible, it seems. Well then, guess I'm on my own for that. Unless I want to check Bulbapedia. I mean, they're not super important, and this isn't meant to be like a totally 100% playthrough. I'm kind of just going off memory for a while. Alright, there is an item here. Monster Boro Mitsuketa. So that was a Pokeball. Otoku na keijiban. Motteru Pokémon ga yowatte kite, tatakawasetaku nai toki wa. So the topic is, let's see, when you have Pokémon that are weak and you don't want to have fight... Kusamura o yokete kaero. So, what, stay away from the tall grass? I had to step in here to read the sign, idiot! Pokémon toro to shite monster boru nagete tara sugu naku nachatta. So you ran out. Kimi mo ome ni katte o toi yo. There's another instance of toi. So, katte oku is basically saying you should be sure to buy extras. Anyway, what was the first part of that first sentence? Toro toshite. Oh wait, that's the volitional form of Toru to like catch Pokemon. Okay. So yeah, while he was out catching Pokemon, he was throwing a bunch of Monster Balls, and unfortunately, he ran out. Okay, so this guy right here is our first instance of line of sight trainer battles. Yosh, kimi wa Pokemon moteru na? Alright, you have Pokemon? Shobu shioze! Let's battle him. Ushitori no shounen ga shobu shikakete kita. So, Bug Catching Boy challenged us to a battle. Weedle kuridashita. Alright, so we have our own Weedle, but it's looking pretty weak right now. I'm not going to have it fight. I'm just going to switch out right now. It'll still gain experience, though. Moi, modore. That's enough, come back. Dokubari, that's the poison sting, and uh-oh! Hitokage wa doku o abita. So, yeah. Hitokage, abita, not necessarily showered with poison, but it's like... basically, poison has infected him. And now we see Doku right there, in place of level. Oh, nice. Okay, let's do Hinoko once again. Ushitori no shonen to no shobu ni katta. Ushitori. Maketa! Caterpie nanka ja dame ka! So, I lost. Caterpie, let's see, nanka ja dame ka. So I guess Caterpie somehow couldn't do it? Got 60 in his prize money. Shiga nigeru kara kitana matana. So he's basically shooing us away because we don't want to. He doesn't want us to scare the bugs away. So yeah, that's what happens when poisoned. Every 4 steps, our Pokemon infected with poison will take 1 HP of damage. Once its HP is at 0, it faints. And we don't want that. That's why we bought Dokukeshi. Oi! Pokemon trainer nara shobu wa kotoware nai ze. Okay, so he's saying, hey, if you're a Pokemon trader, you can't say no to a battle. This guy has a pretty, a particular line that kind of, what is it? It kind of... Basically, in English, it's interesting, I'll just say. He says, yo, you can't jam out if you're a Pokemon trainer. I didn't understand what he meant by jam out, but it turns out he's saying, you can't refuse this. You can't refuse a battle. I guess using, like, some English lingo in the localization there. Okay, we'll bring you in once again. Oh yeah, I don't think I've actually been, like, reading out, this text here. Koka wa batsugunda. So, koka is effect, and let's see. Batsugun. Outstanding, excellent, exceptional. So basically, the effect is outstanding or beyond compare. Or as it's basically become the standard in English, it's super effective. Weedle is level 4 now. Cocoon. Okay, this guy's a bit of a pain. And not for the reason you might expect. Alright, I'm gonna take this time to switch over to Weedle. Katakunaru Kogeki. So, Katakunaru is stiffen or harden. It increases defense. This is the only move it knows. I don't know what trainer would... Well, I guess these are, like, hobbyists. They don't take Pokemon training seriously, but... Man, just having them harden all the time is just annoying. So, yeah, it's super effective here, but, oh yeah, just so you know, in Generation 1 only, Poison beats Bug. And vice versa, I think. But, yeah, because, this is gonna take a while. Thankfully, this is just physical defense, so I can just burn this guy. Weedle is level 5. Okay, there's something I want to check out really quick before I move on. I think I have an idea about it, but just figured I'd check anyway. Unless, hang on. Ah, okay, here it is. Nibi. Okay, yeah. Another Weedle. Let's just get this one over with. Level 13. Are? Mo Pokémon ga nai ya! Oh, I'm all out of Pokémon. Let's see. Kuyashi na! Kuyashi na! Tsuyoi no tsukamaete koyo. So, he's frustrated and wants to catch some stronger ones now. Here's another item. Dokukeshi. Could always use more of those. I don't think there's anything up here. I want to say there was a trainer up here in yellow. Not sure, though. I won't be going over every version difference. I mean, for one thing, I haven't completed, like, Fire Red and Leaf Green since I was a kid. And my Pokemon Yellow cartridge always kept erasing itself halfway through the game, so I never got a chance to beat that. Batteries, am I right? Alright. Hito no Pokemon wa hito no mono. Yase no Pokemon ni dake monster boro nakete tsukamae. So, people's Pokemon are people's property. Only use Monster Balls to catch wild Pokemon. Guess I ought to show that, too. Alright, if we check over here, we get a potion. Chotto matta! Sonna isoide doko ni iku. So, hang on, wait, where are you going in such a hurry? Another bug catcher, and this time we face a Weedle. It's level 9, though. Particularly strong. Still, this is nothing for my Hitokage. Light it up, buddy. Easy. Maita, kimi wa tsuyoi na. So, Maita means I give up. It's an expression. And he's saying we're strong. Mienai tokoro demo honto wa nanika ochite tari suru. So, let's see. Even in areas where you don't see anything, I guess, there's actually something there. Saki otoshimono shita n da. Kimi mo sagashite mite kureru. So he's asking if we could help him search for any stuff he dropped. So I guess some of the stuff we found in the forest is actually stuff he dropped. Or maybe others dropped. But yeah, we're keeping those. Okay, let me actually get into a wild encounter. Oh, it's a Caterpie. These are rarer in Pokemon Red, whereas they're more common in Green. Should I catch you? Sure, I suppose we can. Don't think I'll be using you, but... here we go. Caterpie. Imomushi Pokémon. Midori no hifu ni owareteiru. Hifu? Hifu te nani? Hifu is skin. Okay, so let's see. And owarete. To cover to wrap. So it is wrapped in a green skin. Interesting way of putting it. Dapishite seicho suru to ito kakete sanagi ni kawaru. Man, I'm learning a bunch of new words from this Dex entry alone. Let's see. Dapi. Shedding of skin, molting. Ecdysis. I don't think I've ever heard that word before. So yeah, I guess it, like, it molts as it grows. And ito kakete senagi. Sanagi. Wait. Gi or ki? Yeah, sanagi. Chrysalis. Okay. So it wraps itself around in thread to transform into a chrysalis, a pupa, a cocoon. No nickname. Okay, let's walk around a little more. Alright, let's see how you fare against another Weedle. Okay, don't listen to that. This is another sort of bug in the original Gen 1 games. So, Weedle is considered a bug poison type. That is type 1 bug, type 2 poison. Whenever you use a move, it actually checks for type 1 first before it goes into type 2. And if type 1 actually gets is actually super effective, it'll actually display the super effective message even if the damage is actually neutral. So, poison normally is not very effective against itself. So, because bug beats poison, but poison is not very effective against poison, it actually does neutral damage. But because type 1 is bug, and I'm using a poison type move, it uses that to display the message. It kind of sucks, I know. So it is not super effective. Ignore that. Alright. Reached level 6. Alright, I'm just gonna keep going around here. How much more experience do you need to level up? 121, so that's gonna equate to 6 battles, assuming that you... It's a Pikachu! Alright, so yeah, Pikachus are rare encounters in Viridian Forest. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can try to catch one. My Hitokage, my Charmander, is definitely too strong for this guy, so... we're gonna have to rely on our Weedle. Denki Shock. So yeah, that's Thunder Shock. became poisoned. Alright. I think I'm gonna try throwing a monster ball right now. Ah, tsukamaeta to omotta no ni. So I guess that means, like, I almost had it or something. Okay, I think I'm just going to have the poison whittle away its HP a little bit. I don't want to risk a critical hit or something. Alright, let's try again. Yatta! Pikachu tsukamaeta zo! Okay, let's see what the Dex entry says here. Hoppeta no yoga wa ni chisai denki bukuro motsu. Let's see. Pinchi no toki ni holden suru. Alright, let's see. Hoppeta, I'm guessing that's like cheek pouches. Yeah. Apparently it's a colloquialism. And also, hoppeta ga ochiru is an expression to say that you think something is delicious. Some interesting knowledge for you there. Let's see. Yogawa. Oh, both sides. So, both cheeks. So, both cheeks are essentially little pouches of electricity. And they discharge when in a pinch. Unfortunately, you're poisoned. That's gonna annoy me, but I don't really want to use an antidote. Let's just hurry on to the, Pokémon Center. Pikachu wa chikara tsukita. So, I think that means, like, its power, like, faded. So it's fainted, in other words. Okay, having a Pikachu with us might not be a bad idea, actually. Alright, Dareka no Pasokon. Alright, Pokémon no Tsurete-ku. So, take a Pokémon with us. Azukeru, positive Pokémon. Higasu, to set free a Pokémon. And Bokusu o Kaeru, to switch boxes. Alright. I'm going to deposit Caterpie in here. And that'll do for now. Oh, actually, while I'm here, Okido no Pasokon. So, connected to... Okay, connected to Okido's computer. Pokémon Zukan Hyoga System o Yobidashita. So, essentially launched the, Hyokas. I'm guessing that's like evaluation, right? Evaluation, appraisal, rating, judging. Alright. Just so you see it. Okay. Genzai no Pokémon Zukan o Hyoka shite moraimasu ka? So, will you receive an appraisal of your Pokédex so far? Hai. Pokémon Zukan no Genzai no Kansei do wa. So, Pokédex completion as of now is Mitsuketa Pokémon 11 Tsukamaeta Pokémon 4 Okido Hakase no Hyoka Mada mada Korekara da Achikochi no Kusamura ni haite Pokémon o tsukamaeru no ja. And we get a sound. So, yeah, not good enough. Look in tall grass everywhere if you want to catch some Pokemon. Alright. Setsusoku wata. Alright, well, I guess we're in Nibi City now. So, I guess we'll take a look at some things. But before we do that, I want to go down here really quick and go to this, gate here. Mori ya dokutsu shika inai Pokémon mo oi yo. So, I guess he's saying, you won't find, Pokemon aren't just in caves and forests. Ironna Pokemon toru nara shitsukoku sagashi mawaru koto da ne. Alright, let me see here. Shitsukoi, insistent, obstinate. So you'll have to, like, stubbornly search everywhere, basically, if you want to find all kinds of Pokemon to catch. Give me one moment, please. I think right now might be a good time for a break. So, yeah, I'll just pull this up and we'll be right back. And I'm going to have to change this. There we go. So I'll see you in a moment. Go ahead, drink some water, use the bathroom, do some stretches. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Alright. Let's continue. So I've already talked to you. Now, let's talk to you. Doro no achikochi ni hosoi ki ga attaro. Hosoi ki ga attaro. Let's see, hosoi, that's low, isn't it? So, yeah. I guess he's asking if we saw any small trees along the road here and there. Asoko wa Pokémon no waza de kite toreru soja. So it seems that there is a Pokémon move that allows you to cut it and pass through there. So yeah, remember that for later. Okay, let's see. Now I want to go back into the forest, because I think that'll be the best place for my Weedle to train, since poison beats bug. Although, with that said, oh, well, you are annoying. Hang on, let me take a look at something. Let's see, Koku. Kaki. Okay, yeah. Its only move is Harden. We're not doing that. And fighting like this will take too long. Yeah, go ahead and take it out, buddy. Hinoko. That's gotta hurt. Let's see. I didn't want the chat to reset. Oh well. Any day now. I feel like my RNG has been too good around here. There we go. Ugh! Dame. And no, I'm not catching that. You'll know why shortly. Other than the fact that it only knows Harden. Man, why do I keep running into you guys? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, this'll probably be something that Beetle can handle more on its own. Oh, that's still not very much damage. And you do about the same amount of damage as I. Push through? Sure. Let's try pushing through. You can do it, Weedle! That was a crit? That didn't seem like it did anything special. Darn. When is your next level up? 14, so one more battle. This is a slight pain. Especially when I keep having to run into you. There we go, level 7. Oya! Beetle no yosu ga! Omedetou! Beetle wa Cocoon ni shinka shita! And now we have our very own Cocoon. Let's take a look at it. Now, unfortunately, whenever Weedle evolves into a Kakuna, it does not learn Harden in Gen 1. Or, correction. Before Yellow, it does not learn Harden upon leveling up. So, yeah. That kind of sucks. There's no way for it to learn Harden from evolving into... after evolving from a Weedle in Red, Blue, and Green. So it's going to be staying stuck with those two moves for quite a while. So, yeah, that really, really sucks. Let me take a look at my guide here really quick. What is its evolution's name? Let's see. Weedle, Cocoon, Spear. Ah, okay. Spear. As in spear? Huh. I guess its arms do kind of look like they're javelins of some kind. Anyway, let me take a look at its, like, learn set here. Sashi Supia. Okay. So it'll begin learning other moves after level 12 when it becomes its next evolution. It evolves into Spia at level 10. But I don't know if I'm incorrect about this, but I think if you are in the same level as when you learn a move, you don't learn the move. I don't remember, though, and I don't want to find out. Anyway, the purpose of these bug Pokemon here is they're the earliest examples of Pokemon who can evolve. They evolve at a measly level 7. But unfortunately, they stay pretty darn weak. So, if you want to use them, you're gonna have to be really committed. I don't think this one deals very much damage, but it does gain more defense. As you can see, Dokuhari is only dealing 1 damage to it. There. Okay, I think I'm done training here. For now. So this is still considered Route 2, so any Pokemon you encounter here you would also encounter on the other side. Alright. Since we're in a new town, time to go talk to some people and learn some new words. Alright, so first off in the Pokemon Center, we have this guy here. That is a pudding. Pudding. Anyway. Pudding no utagoe o kiku to taite no Pokémon wa nemuku naru. Soshite boku mo. So, wait, what is that other word? Taite. Let me take a look at that word. Taite, mostly, ordinarily. So, I guess Pokemon usually go to sleep when they hear Putin's singing voice. Just be careful not to get drawn on your face. Nani? Rocket-dan ga otsukimi yama de... Then washiteru nda. Oh, okay, so, this old man, he's saying... What? Rocket-dan ga otsuki yama de... So, the conversation is incomplete here. Apparently it has something to do with Rocket-dan, which is essentially the Rocket Gang, otherwise known as Team Rocket, and something about Otsukimi-yama, which is, Mountain of Moon Viewing, I guess, otherwise known as Mount Moon. So something is happening there with this Rocket Gang. And then, he's saying, Den wa shiteru nda. He's talking on the phone. Jama shinai de kure. Please don't bother me. Actually, not even a please, just don't bother me. Oh, I just had this in the way. Sorry about that. I'll show that text box again. There we go. Let's see what's in this house here. Nemuri, doku, yakedo, mahi, Pokémon no taichou ga warui to tsukamae yasui yo. So, yeah, he's saying, sleep, poison, burn, paralysis. Pokémon under bad conditions are easier to catch. Demo, kanarazu toreru wake janai mitai. But it doesn't seem like there's a way to capture them without fail. Or so you think. Let's not tell him about it. Pokémon o sodatete iku to waza o oboeru. So, basically, as you trade your Pokémon, they learn new moves. Shikashi, hito kara osowara nakereba oboenai waza mo aru zo. Let's see. Hang on. Let's see. Osowara... Osowareru, to be tormented, to have... No, that can't be it. Osowaru, to be okay, so yeah, it's this, Osowaru right here. To be taught, to learn, to take lessons in. So, he's saying, however, if they are taught... if they are taught by a person... They're taught from a person, they can learn that too. Okay, so he's saying Pokemon can also learn moves from other people. Basically, he's referring to the concept of technical machines, aka TMs. They're called waza machine in Japanese. So yeah, basically skill machine, technical machine, whatever you make of it. And here's another town map that you could look at if you didn't get one from Daisy before. Apparently right next to here, there's a place called Digda no Ana, Digda's cave, I guess. Digda's hole, burrow, something like that. Okay, I've been seeing somebody outside here. There we go. Nibi shiti wa bushitori shonen mitai ni tada no shumi de Pokémon yatteru yatsu bakari. So, let's see. So, Nibi City, this is Pewter City in English, by the way. Nibi City, there's, essentially, people like bug catchers who only treat Pokemon like it's a hobby. Shikashi, Nibi Pokemon Jimu no Takeshi wa shigau ze. But the Nibi gym leader, Takeshi, is different. Basically saying it, unlike those, bug catchers who just do Pokemon as a hobby, Takeshi is really into it. Like, he takes the battles more seriously. I mean, when you're a gym leader, it's kind of your job, so... Boku ga nani yatteru ka wakaru? Do I know what you're doing? No idea. Wakaranai. Kadan ni yasei no Pokemon ga hairanai you ni Ushioke spray maiteru no sa. So, to keep wild Pokemon out of this flower bed, that was what the first word was, he's basically spraying bug spray. Mushioke spray. That is bug spray. That said, though, of course, this bug spray isn't just effective on bugs. It repels all Pokemon, and, well, given they're a lower level than you. So, it was called the Repel, in English. Makes sense. Chirashi ga hatte aru. So, chirashi is a flyer or a leaflet, and it's set up here. Hatte aru. Saikin Otsukiyama de kichou na Pokémon no kaseki o nusumimakuru akuto ga imasu. So, Akuto is like a, basically some sort of criminal, villain of some kind. And they are going around, recently, they have been going around continuously stealing valuable Pokemon. I think Kaseki is fossil? Is that right? Yes, fossils. Ayashi hito mitara... ... Nibi keisatsu made. So, bring it up to the Nibi police if you see anyone suspicious. Okay, this guy right here. If we talk to him or if we try to get past him... Omae! Pokemon trainer daro? You're a Pokemon trainer, right? Takeshi ga aite o sagashiteru. Kochi ni koi. So, let's see. Takeshi is looking for, ah, man, I don't know what the best word to say for Aite is. I guess challenger would be best here? So, Takeshi is looking for challengers. Kochi ni koi. So, follow me. Kateru jishin ga aru nara, Takeshi to tatakatte minayo. So, let's see. If you believe you can win, if you have faith in yourself to win, like if you believe you can win, then try challenging Takeshi to a fight. Now, I want you to pay attention here. He's walking over that way, but if we go this way, there's a fence right here. How did he exit? Does he have, like, the forbidden power to jump over fences or something? Anyway, Nibi City Pokémon Gym Leader Takeshi. Tsuyokute katai shi no otoko. Okay, so this is a little bit weird. I've noticed this about Ishi. So, Ishi means rock, but it can also mean will and determination. It can also mean intention or purpose. Basically, if it's not in, if it's not in kanji, it can be a little difficult to, know what that might be. I mean, stone would probably be the most common thing, and considering Takeshi, spoiler alert, only uses rock-type Pokémon, you would think that at first glance Ishi could be, stone. But it could also be will and determination. So, although, So basically what this is translating it as, strong and rock-hard man, I guess we could say. Now, I think rock-hard could kind of cover both, situations. Anyway, let's talk to some other people. Pippi te tsuki kara kita te uwasa shiteru? Oh, shiteru. So, something about Pippi, which, in English is Clefairy. So, about Pippi, have you known about the rumors about it coming from the moon? Otsukimi yama ni, tsuki no ishi ga ochite kara, ikakeru you ni natta no. So, the rumor came about, seemingly, when, moonstones had fallen and were found on Mount Moon. Now, whether or not Clefairies actually do come from the moon is unknown, But I find it really weird that in the Pokemon universe they could essentially treat Pokemon of alien origin as their friends still. Like, nobody even, like, looks the other way about that, and I guess that's fine, but still. It just seems like something that at least somebody in the Pokemon world would have some sort of problem with. Anyway, Nibi Kagaku Hakubutsukan. So, this is the Nibi Science Museum. Hakubutsukan is museum. I think I'm gonna go over that, in the next stream, actually. Alright, I want to say there's something around here, but I don't know. Okay, maybe not. Alright, let's see. Nidoran, Osawari? Nidoran, sit. Bow, bow. Alright, judging from the cry, this is a male Nidoran. Uchi no Pokémon yosomono, dakara ki muzukashii yo. So, let's see. Yosomono seems like, it's an outsider. And so, yeah, our Pokémon is an outsider, therefore it is tough to... Ki Muzakashi. Man. If I want to just search for Ki. Mood. Let's see. Yeah, it could be a bunch of stuff. Okay, maybe not any of this stuff. Okay. Basically, it's difficult to deal with, I guess. Yosomono te no wa hito to koukan shita Pokémon da yo. So, outsiders are Pokemon that, see from another person in a trade. Sodatsu no wa hayai ga chikara no nai train. Let's see. Sodatsu no wa hayai ga, it raises, or it can be brought up or raised quickly, but Chikara no nai trainer no iu koto wa kikan. So, yeah, it grows up fast, but trainers without power, or I guess in this case, like, I don't know, power is kind of a diverse word in Japanese, I'm beginning to realize. So let's say they don't have the right stuff, I guess. And because of that, they won't listen to them. Bajisai areba. So if only we had some badges. So yeah, whenever you do a trade with another person, whether it be in-game or someone in real life, they will gain an experience boost. Essentially, there's a multiplier that it gets, but if it gets too strong, then it'll begin to not listen to you. So you have a chance every turn where it just won't do anything. Alright, let's check out the friendly shop. Inchiki kusai, Inchiki kusai oji-san kara nandaka henna Pokémon kachatta yo. Let me see. Inchiki. Cheating, fraud, fake, bogus. So you found this, I guess this bogus of an old man, this quack. Sure, let's call it that. This quack old man, had this weird Pokemon and I bought it. Suge no yowai no 500 yen mo shita no ni. So, suge yowai no, it's incredibly weak. 500 yen mo shita no ni. So it cost him 500 yen. Oof. I wonder what this weak Pokemon is. Well, I know what it is, but... Yowai Pokemon demo issho kenmei sodatereba. So, let's see. Even if you raise your Pokemon, raise weak Pokemon, with your best, do all you can to raise it. Ikoto arusa. Good things will happen. Okay. Let's see what you got for sale here. You can buy more Monster Balls, which I will happily do. And I'll buy some potions. And I think I'll buy some of these ahead of time. Nemuke Zamashi. These are awakenings. Alright, and that will be all. Alright, one more guy to talk to here before we end our little gameplay session here. Let's see. Kimi wa mo hakubutsukan kengaku shita? So, have you taken a trip to the museum yet? Iie. Soria zettai itta houga ii. Huh? Then you definitely should go. And he's gonna drag us to the museum. Koko da yo? Kengaku ni wa nyūjōryū ga iru kedo. So, here it is. You do have to pay an entrance fee, however, to go inside. Ja, boku wa koko de. So, we'll part ways here. Okay. Let's take a look at our Zukan really quick. Because whenever we get a new evolution, it is automatically recorded in our Pokédex. We just don't see it right away. We have to see it for ourselves. Alright. Kokun. Sanagi Pokémon. 大人の体を作るための一時的な状態。自分ではほとんど動けない。So, I know the second sentence is, it doesn't move very much. Let's see. 大人の体... Otona is adult, so adult body. So it's making an adult body. Ichiji teki. Temporary transitory. Ah, okay, I can see it with the kanji here. Ichi 1, G, time, Teki, and that is, like, target. And Joltai, I think, is, like, body or something. Oh, state. Okay. So, it's basically a temporary state where it begins to build its adult body, just like a real chrysalis. And I think that is the only one of note. Alright, let's do a save here. And we'll begin doing a few more, reading a few more things in our illustrated book of Pocket Monsters. Alright, so I'll hide the game. And I will bring this up. Oh, this is where I was taking a look at the learn sets of all of the Pokémon. Alright, let's see here. Let's take a look at the, yeah, let's take a look at Weedle here. Let's see. More dake de naku. Kusachi ni mo oku seisoku suru. So, not only do they appear in forests, but many of them also appear in grassy areas. Not sure if this is like a specific word. Like, yeah. Atama no saki ni 5 cm ぐらいの小さく鋭い毒針をし、外敵が現れた時には、それを動かし、威嚇する。Alright, so it actually, like, continues from the last sentence in the game. So, on its head is a 5 centimeter, about a 5 centimeter small, sharp poison stinger. Gaiteki, I'm guessing that's like outsiders, like foes, invaders. Awareta, Arawareta Toki. So when they encounter, Sore o Ugokashi Ikaku suru. Alright, so Ikaku is threat. So it threatens, invaders. Let me take a look at that. Maybe there's a better word I can use. Oh, well, yeah, looks like I got it just right. Foreign enemy, outside invader. Alright. Icho no hana do honon de taberu. So I guess it likes eating leaves of some kind. Icho. Oh, hang on. Icho no ha. Okay, so I'm seeing a bunch of stuff for Icho. There's an Icho for the gastrointestinal tract. That is the stomach and the intestines. There's an Icho for medical doctor. But what I think the Icho here is really talking about is the ginkgo, or the maidenhair tree. So yeah, it's a kind of tree, and I guess it likes those kinds of trees? Oh, it is its preference. It prefers to eat those kinds of trees. And I'm guessing a lot of those trees are in Viridian Forest. Alright then. Alright, and next we have Cocoon. Otona no karada o tsukuru tame no ichichi teki na shoutai. Just went over that. Vidoru jidai, takusan no happa o tabete, kono sanaki no shoutai ni sonaeru to iware. Okay, so I guess from the time it was a Weedle, it had eaten a ton of leaves, and now it pretty much became this state. So, Sonaeru. Let's see what that is. Sonaeru. To furnish with, to equip with, to prepare for. Okay, so I think we get the idea here. To become a Kakuna, it basically ate a lot of leaves to become a chrysalis, and soon enough it'll evolve again and become its adult form. Although it does say Toiwaderu, so I guess it's more like it can be said. This is the case. Jibun de wa hotondo ugokenai. So it doesn't move itself very much. Let's try reading one more. Oh yeah, we also caught a Pikachu. Let's read that. Yeah, here we are. Oh. Okay, well, this one's interesting. There's a sketch here, presumably from the, Nishinomori professor. We'll get to that in a bit. Let's see. There's actually a lot written on this one. Pikachu. Mori ni sumi, kinomi nado shushoku to shiteiru. So, it lives in forests, with, trees. Kinomi is like tree fruits, I think. Shushoku, is that like its main diet or something? I could probably guess that considering it has the kanji for main and, eat there. Kazu ga sukunaku, nakanaka mitsukeru koto ga dekinai. Let's see. Its numbers are few, and I guess they're difficult to find. That said, though, Pikachu is considered the mascot of Pokémon, and, well, you'll never find a Pokémon game without them. Well, unless it's the first Black and White, but even then, one of the, places in Nimbasa City has a Pikachu, like, has a facility that is shaped like a Pikachu, so it's still there. You just couldn't catch one native to the region. Anyway, Opeta no Yogawa ni chisai denki bukuro mochi, pinchi no toki ni houden suru. Alright, so Holden, I'm pretty sure it's discharge, but let me check. Yeah, it is. So, it holds small electrical pouches on both of its cheeks, and their electricity is discharged at a time of crisis. Yasashi seikaku de shido ga takaku, aikyou mo aru no de, kenkyusha no aida de mo ninki number 1 no Pokémon da. Oh. Okay, so gentle personality, Chino, let's see that. Chino. Intelligence is high. And Aikyo, is that like a bond of some kind? Charm attractiveness. Okay. Charm attractiveness. So because of all of these properties, its gentle personality, its high intelligence, and its charm, it was the #1 most popular Pokémon in research. Aida demo, Aida is like a span of time or something. So yeah, it was the #1 most popular Pokémon amongst researchers. Kind of fitting considering it's the mascot of Pokémon, like I said before. Alright, Pikachu wa shinka suru to Raichu ni naru ga Gaiken ga kawatte shimau no ga iya de shinka sasenai to. So basically it's saying that while Pikachu can evolve into Raichu, its change in appearance is not pleasant to some, and there are quite a number of people who basically prefer to not evolve it. That said, though, Ash's Pikachu just flat out refused to evolve for some reason. But yeah, there you go. Even in the... Okay, well, yeah, it's kind of always been like that. In the Pokemon world, Pikachu was, like, the number one Pokemon, regardless. I'm pretty sure. Now, let me take a look at this sketch here. So, Jiken Ichi. Experiment 1. Pikachu no Denatsu o hakatte miyo. So it's like testing the voltage of a Pikachu? Denatsu. Yeah, it is voltage. So I guess, a Pokemon researcher was essentially hooking up a machine to a Pikachu's cheeks to measure how much voltage it is able to discharge from its cheeks. And the poor thing is kind of restrained there. And it's not like the Pikachu really cares, according to that sketch. Alright, well, there we go. I think we learned quite a lot. We've done, we basically went from, Masara town all the way to Nibi city. We've battled against our rival, got to see a, scene that most players would miss. We went through Viridian Forest, we got some of our first Pokémon. We arrived in Nibi City and talked to the citizens there, and the things we have left to do there are to visit the museum and to challenge the gym leader Takeshi. So we've done a lot. So I think it's a good time that we cut our stream here. So, with that said, I thank you very much for watching. Mite kurete arigato. If you enjoy what you see, if you like learning Japanese with video games with me, and if you want to know when I'm next live, then consider following me on Twitch and subscribing to my live YouTube channel. I don't just do Japanese, by the way. I do play other games in my native English language. Anyway, I also have a main YouTube channel if you want to check out some of my more detailed and condensed playthroughs. And I also have a Blue Sky if you want to check me out there. So, with all that said, thank you once again for watching. This is Stylus signing off. See you next time. Mata ne!